In today's class, I would like to discuss the chapter Understanding the Humanities. This is a chapter prescribed for the 5th semester functional English students of Kandu University. In this class, I would like to talk about the beginning of the term Humanities and an attempt to define it, and also some of the disciplines that come under it. What do we understand by the term humanities? The classical Greek notion was to provide a basis of broad education to the Greek citizens. This is how the Greeks understood the term. For the Greeks, the humanities was to provide a basis of broad education to the Greek citizens. However, the term was used for the first time during the Italian Renaissance to refer to the education of Christians for their moral and spiritual development. So during the Italian Renaissance, the term was applied to refer to the education of Christians for their moral and spiritual education. Today, the term is used to refer to the various branches of knowledge which are concerned with human thoughts, creative expressions, and culture, and are categorized as non-science disciplines. Okay, so far we have looked at the origin of the term. I mentioned that during the Greek time, they viewed it as a means to provide broad education to the Greek citizens. But during the Italian Renaissance, it was to provide education for the Christians for their moral and spiritual development. Today, as I said, it is used to refer to all forms of disciplines that are concerned with human thoughts, creative expression, culture, and are considered as non-science disciplines. So broadly speaking, humanities include the various branches of knowledge which explore the process of creative interventions that humans make in imaginatively interpreting and expressing the meanings of their lived-in experience. I repeat, broadly speaking, humanities include the various branches of knowledge which explore the process of creative interventions that humans make in imaginatively interpreting and expressing the meanings of their lived-in experience. For example, in literature, in novels, short stories, plays, and different other forms of literature, we make an attempt to understand the meanings of the lived-in experience of human beings. This creative expression in literature can vary significantly in different forms of literature. For example, in a short story, Evelyn, that is included in Dubliners by James Joyce, it captures a moment's experience of the protagonist when she decides to leave to Buenos Aires with her fiancé. It's only a moment's experience is captured. But when it comes to War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, we find that there are a number of characters appear in this novel, and the geographical setting is also different. So what I'm trying to tell you is this: even in literature, the different ways we use to articulate the lived-in experience of human beings. So humanities include the various branches of knowledge which explore the creative interventions that humans make in imaginatively expressing and interpreting the meanings of the lived-in experience. It can vary in different disciplines. Okay, there are different disciplines that come under it. Generally, we classify 6 disciplines under humanities. They are the classics, the language and literature, philosophy, then we have visual and performing arts, history, these are some of the important disciplines that we classify under humanities. Once again, the classics, religion, language and literature, philosophy, visual and performing arts, and history. So in all these forms, what we are doing is we are trying to understand the meanings of our life. We are trying to interpret the experience of human life. So this is particularly the concerns of humanities. Humanities attempts to make sense of the experience of human beings. So let me summarize the points that I have been discussing so far. I began my discussion by talking about the beginning of the term humanities. I mentioned that how this term was used by the Greeks. They used it as a means to provide broad education to the citizens. Then the first appearance of the term, I mentioned that it was during the Italian Renaissance. At that time, it was used to refer to the education of Christians for their moral and spiritual development. And how it is viewed today, we understood that it is concerned with the human thoughts, creative expression, culture, and all those disciplines that are not included as science disciplines. And an attempt to define that term is also mentioned. How can we define? As I said already, a precise definition is not possible. However, we mentioned that humanities include various branches of knowledge which explore the process of creative interventions that humans make in imaginatively interpreting and expressing the meanings of their lived-in experience. And I also talked about different disciplines that come under humanities, which are they? Number one, the classics. Number two, religion. Number three, language and literature. Number four, philosophy. Number five, visual and performing arts. Number six, humanities. Thank you very much. Now I'll give you the notes and we will have a short quiz based on this discussion. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now take a look at the topic once again, understanding the humanities. Points, origin of the term humanities, definition, disciplines under humanities. We began with the question, what do we understand by the word humanities? We talked about the classical Greek notion. It was to provide a basis of broad education for the Greek citizens. The concept of liberal arts has its roots in such a tradition. Then we mentioned the first appearance of the term. It was during the Italian Renaissance. At that time, it was used in relation to the education of the Christians for their moral and spiritual development. Now, at present, it is used to refer to those disciplines of knowledge which are broadly concerned with human thoughts, creative expression, and culture, and are classified as non-science academic disciplines. Now, an attempt to define the term humanities include the various branches of knowledge which explore the process of creative interventions that humans make in imaginatively interpreting and expressing the meanings of their lived-in experience. We have also talked about examples from literature. We mentioned Evelyn, a short story by James Joyce, and also we mentioned War and Peace. Disciplines categorized under humanities: the classics, literature and languages, philosophy, religion, visual and performing arts, and history. So, concerns of humanities, it explores the process of how human beings construct a world of meanings and interpretations around their lives. It also attempts to create an intellectual, spiritual sense of the lived world. Thank you.